everyone. I hope you're doing well. I'm kind of nervous about this collection of work because it just like spoke to a deep, almost like unconscious part of myself. So let me go ahead and get started. So I have been meditating for the last couple of months, and it has been a journey, let me tell you. And so I see colors when I meditate, usually within like 10 to 15 minutes of meditating. So the surface design on these mugs are from my meditations. The colors are from my meditations. The dark, especially the darkness, the dark colors. There's some mugs that are just completely black. That's at the beginning of the meditation. When I first sit down, I see, you just close your eyes and it's just dark. And then the color comes, little wisps of like different colors whenever I can quiet my mind. So this collection is very fascinating to me because the reason why I carve gemstones basically is because I start off with like globs of clay that I put on my pottery. And then I take an X-Acto knife and I carve it. And so it's like I'm carving those thoughts and globs of clay into something beautiful. And so for me, I thought about how when I sit down and meditate, all these thoughts are just coming to me, like they just kind of float in that dark space. And sometimes I get consumed by the thought. And when I get consumed by that thought, something beautiful happens where there's this lovely, intense feeling, emotion that brings me back to the present. And that shocking feeling is, I don't know, I think it's just awareness, like awareness of the fact that, hey, pay attention, you're looking for something. And then that's when the colors start. That's when the colors start moving, like in my recesses of my mind. And so I wanted to capture those feelings, like especially if you look at this mug, like the blue and the waves and the crashing with the thoughts and the gemstones, and the lining of the color on the gemstone kind of represents like deconstructing those thoughts and just being okay with the thoughts. At first I was upset that I was having them, but then I think it's just part of the process of just living. And so that thoughts can exist and you just let them be. And that's kind of where I am. I'm trying to accept that aspect of myself. But whenever the swirling colors do come, I feel this profound peace. And I desperately want that peace in real life, outside of my meditations, because I usually feel this deep sense of longing while I'm in my real life. And so I started getting into Rumi, the poet, and he talks about that longing and that thirst and that hunger. And it's like a hunger for love, really. And so I've wrote a lot of his poetry on this pottery too, as a reminder of that, and as a way to say, hey, you're not alone in this world. Some people do feel very deeply, they love deeply, and you're one of those people, and it's okay. And so I think this collection is just a combination of seeing myself for who I am and loving myself for who I am, and being able to love myself so that my son can see how I love myself and he can love himself too, just a depth of self-love that comes from within and not really from anyone else. And I think that's what it is. It's like pottery, making art, everything. It's just a way of like loving yourself and giving yourself that space to breathe and that space to see yourself for who you really are. But anyway, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a lovely day, and thank you for stopping by. I'll talk to you later. Bye.